Welcome back, agents, to another episode of Prime Tips. Today we're talking about durable portals. Not really something that's in the scanner, but something that is a big part of the game. And the general term durable is given to a portal that is hard to get or hard to take, or in best cases, both. So why would you want a durable? Well, the biggest thing probably today that I see durables used for are anchors for operations, for large fields or lots of fields. You want that durable portal so that the other side has a hard time getting to that portal and taking it down, or just taking it, period. You can also use it for low visibility blockers that you can keep in your hind pocket. So if you have one of those that's in the middle of nowhere and you keep it lit, and you see that there's an operation that's starting, if you've got a clear shot, you can throw to that, and that's usually in a place that they probably didn't look for when they were planning the operation, so they didn't take it out, and they can't get to it once you throw that blocker out there. Also, they can be used for stats boosters. So things that you can use, of course, is unique portals visited, so you can bump that Explorer medal a little bit if you hit these portals, if you've hit everything else in the area. Portals discovered, so you could, if you can get one of those approved, you could get it as a discovered portal. Unique portals visited, I talked about. Unique portals captured, so there's your Pioneer medal. And then the max ones, so the max time portal held, max time link maintained, max length times day, max time field held, those kind of things. Again, since they're hard to get to, you could have a field that could stand for quite a while and boost those stats. Largest field MUs per day, and it used to be a favorite for Guardians, but Guardians is kind of gone. So there's a couple different types of durables that you might see. And again, the terminology that I use is the terminology that we use in our area. You guys might use different terminology, but the idea is basically the same. So one of the first ones is what I would call a low signal or signal challenged portal. So this is a pretty good example of one. It's in a fairly remote area. It's also in an area that the cell service just really kind of sucks when you get there. So there's actually two that are there. There's this one that's across at the spring, and just down the road from it, there's another one that just popped in, Wren Bridge. So with these two portals and my carrier, the only way that I can really get these portals online is if I hit them as I come in off this road, and the signal is still there. But if I go from between, believe it or not, if I go from this one, to Wren Bridge, that's enough distance that I get away from the cell tower. It starts to have problems, and I turn around and I can't get it. So those are ones that you probably would want for that long blocker type thing. Or if you could frack it and get a whole bunch of keys, it could make a decent portal that is used in that operation. Okay. Another part that you might look at are ones that are just not cargressable. Something that's just kind of hard to get to. It's not impossible to get to, but kind of hard to get to. So this portal, it's on a trail, and although it looks as though those are all kind of roads, if you look at it just in roads, you'll notice that, nope, that's not really a road. That happens to be a trail. So there's a trailhead, and there's a trailhead. And so to get to that particular one, it's about a mile hike, depending upon which trailhead you start from. So that's fairly durable. It's one that they could get to in the daytime, probably pretty difficult for them to get to at nighttime. So then you have those that are just very hard to get to, or challenging terrains. Those are the ones that are really, really prized. So here's an example of one, the Christ of the Abyss, And you notice it looks like that one's underwater. And as I zoom out, yes, indeed, that one is underwater. So to get to that portal, you would either have to fly over, boat over. I don't know if you could swim from the coast here out to it and back. I really, really doubt it. So that's one of those that the people are going to take, and they're going to keep lit for a long, long time. You'll notice that this one's got a couple of SoftBank Ultralinks and portal shields on it. So that's one of those that is if you're using it for an operation, you have to get that way in advance. You got to get those keys out to people way in advance. Now, some of the other ones that are just very remote that are really hard to get to. Here's another example of one. I can get it to come up here. There we go. McMurdo Station. And when I pull this out, you'll notice that, yeah, it is rather remote, being as it is in Antarctica. So just getting to that one would be tough, and not everybody can get to it. We ran into this agent, or this actually portal in a First Saturday, and there's a number of people that went to the First Saturday at McMurdo Station, because when else would you get a chance to do that? Because if they held a First Saturday, you probably wouldn't really get there. But there's still people around it. You notice that there's some other portals that are lit up and those kind of things. So that's another one that you could really get to. There are some of them that are just hard to get to because of seasonal or weather. So, for instance, this one, which is the Northern Pier at Ludington, and it is up off of the Great Lakes, and it's just on the edge of the lake. So in the summertime, that's not real tough, not impossible to get to. It is possible to make the walk along this breakwater and get there. So it's not impossible, but it is hard. But if it's wintertime and there's a lot of snow or high winds or those type of things, especially seasonal, it's probably one of those that you just are not going to be able to get to because of those challenges. There are other ones that are just limited access. For instance, this guy, which doesn't look like much. It looks like it's in the middle of a city. And it is in a city, but it happens to be in a sculpture garden. And in this particular case, this sculpture garden is in a fenced area. So you probably can't reach that one from this street or the street along the side. It's out of range, especially when you get to the ones that are way back here in the back. You're not going to be able to reach those. And in this particular case, they have a portal that's right up near the front, so it's a gated area. So that gated area is going to be closed at certain times. This particular one's closed at night, and I believe it's closed for a couple days over the weekend. So if you were able to pull off an operation and anchor in one or more of all those portals in there, the other side wouldn't really be able to get to it to take that out. Then you may have those that are just restricted, that you have to have some sort of membership or pass to get to it. Here's a good example. Guantanamo Bay's Anchor, GTMONGIS Anchor. And it's in on a naval institution. I think it's a naval institution. So you have to have access and clearance to get in there. And you'll notice that when we look at the fields and the links, that's what they're using it for. That, it's an anchor that not everybody can get to. And if you get it, you hold it for a long time. And look at the end here. We'll turn on our fields and links. You'll see that, yeah, they've got a really long link that's going into that from, I think that was the Cayman Islands. I got to zoom out even more. Got a little bit of a curve on it. Yeah. So they got a field and stuff coming off the Caymans. Or is that the Canaries? Off of that island. So those are the ones that are remote portals, hard to get to, um, for a number of reasons. You could have ones that are not that way, that are more guarded. Uh, those would be like couch portals or work portals. So again, this one, it's right in the middle of a city. It's nearby a certain agent that lives nearby that particular one, so it's not difficult for that agent to get out and guard it or battle with it or update it or whatever. But it's not really hard to get to. But it's still kind of a durable because it is a watched or guarded portal. Now you have some combination ones, and these are the ones that are really good. So like this one, which is Punch Bowl. It's in a park that is in Indiana, so you can see that it's kind of hard to get to. There is a bit of a hike that's involved to get to that particular one. So it's not that it's impossible to get to, but it's going to take a little bit to get to. Also, this particular one, the cell phone service there really, really sucks, especially if you have certain cell phone providers. So you not only have to have the time and the way to get to the portal, once you get there, you may not be able to interact with it. So that's kind of a combination one, low signal and just hard to get to. And you may have one of those that's a combination seasonal and limited access. For example, this one, which is in the middle of a theme park, Holiday World Monsoon Lagoon. So it's right in the middle of that theme park. It's not something that you're going to be able to hit from a surrounding roadway. You're going to be too far away from it. And the thing about it is this is a water park. So come October, I think it is for this particular one, they shut down the theme park. So not only is it hard to get to, but once they shut it down, that particular portal is unavailable for months at a time. So you have a lot of different things that you can look at for durable portals. Those are just low signal or signal challenged. Ones you can't cargress to, the ones that are just really, really hard to get to. That could be the top of a mountain, the bottom of the sea, whatever. Ones that are just really remote, not hard to get to terrain-wise, but just hard to get to because they're away from everything else. Those that are seasonal, those that may have weather things that prevent people from getting to them, time restricted, restricted access, combination of all those things. And again, those are the ones that you probably want to look at when you're developing ops, or if you're key farming. If you're near one of those, it might be a good time to get the keys to that particular portal, because you never know when you might need it. And maybe you'll see me at one of these durable portals next time we're in the field. See you later. Bye.